I have a question that I would like to ask you today. Are you done playing the blame game? Are you done playing the blame game? And I want you to just think about that for 1 minute. I want you to think about it. And I'm going to read a verse to you. And I'm going to read Proverbs 19:3. And I want you to go over it, and I want you to look over it, and I want you to just let it meditate. I'm going to read it to you. And I asked the question today, are you done playing the blame game? Because when I get finished reading this verse to you, I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about the very decisions that you made. I want you to notice the decisions that you made. The Heavenly Father didn't make those decisions. You made those decisions. You went along with those decisions. You did those very things to tell the truth that the good Lord told you not to do, but you said, I'm going to do it. I want you to think about it. And as I read this verse to you, I want you to ask yourself, are you playing the blame game? I want you to think about this. I'm about to read Proverbs 19:3, okay? And it says, people ruin their lives by their own foolishness. I'm going to read it one more time. People ruin their lives off their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. I want you to think about it now. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness, then they're angry at the Lord. Could that very well be you? Could you be one of those people who make those decisions? You know, you make decisions without seeking God. But when things don't go your way, you got the nerve to blame God. I want you to think about it now. Could you very well be one of those people? You know, you chose to marry that man. You chose to marry that woman. All the signs was there. But you still said, you know what, Lord? I'm going to say I do. God showed you every sign in the book that showed you and told you do not go through. God gave you every chance not to go to that altar and say, I do. But you still chose to say, I do. And you still chose to say, I'm going to go through. And then when things are not working out the way that it should work out, you look into the heavens and saying, God, I blame you. Could that very well be you? Could that be you? Are you one of those people who, again, you don't seek God? You don't have a relationship with God, but you got the nerve to get mad when things don't go your way and you blame God. I want you to think about it now. What is it in your life that you put your foot in? What is it in your life that everything told you don't do it? Don't go there, but you blame God when you did it. You knew the type of friends that you hung around. Your mama been telling about them. Your daddy been telling you about them. Your grandma been telling you about them. Everybody been telling you about that crowd of people. If you keep dealing with them, you're going to get in trouble. If you keep dealing with them, you're going to get in trouble. And what do? You keep dealing with them, and now you in a world of trouble. All the signs was there, and now you mad because you behind prison bars or jailhouse bars, and now you blaming God. Could that very well be you? You know what they was going to do. You out there in them streets selling drugs. You robbing, killing, doing everything up under the sun that you ain't got no business doing. And you get mad when you get caught. And you blame God, talking about he could have got you up out of this mess. Could that very well be you? Could it very well be you? I want you to think about it now. Think about it. You went out there and got that car. You knew you didn't have insurance on that car. You went and bought the car, you didn't get insurance, and now you done wrecked the car. Or somebody done hit you in the car, now you can't get another car. Now you blaming God, talking about, now look at you, God. I done got this car. What I'm going to do, God? You need to give me another car. You mad at God off of a decision that you made. Could that very well be you? We go out and do stuff. You went out there. You had all those children by those women. And now child support is killing your check. And now you blaming God. Talking about some God, how I'm supposed to make it. Could that very well be you? You on the job, but you don't go to the job. You go to the job, but you don't do work on the job. And now you no longer have a job. And now you looking blaming God. Talking about, see, God, I thought you supposed to look out for your children. Could that very well be you? See, we get ourselves in so many situations that the warning signs are there. We go outside the will of God and do the things that we want to do. But the moment we get in mess, we look at God and we blame God for things that we shouldn't have done. We blame God. Could that very well be you? Could it very well be you? I want you to think about your life now. God didn't tell you to have children by that man. God didn't have you to tell children by that woman. And now you catching pure hell. And now you blaming God. I want you to think about it. Why is it that we do that? Why is it? You went out to school and took out those loans. You took them. And now you're mad because God won't take them away. Come on now. Let's just tell the truth about it. You praying over these bills and stuff that you done created. Talk about take them away, God. Take them away, God. And you get mad because God don't take them away. You made them. Come on now. Could that very well be you? I want you to think about your life. You know your life. And what is it in your life that decisions that you made? I want you to think about it now. Decisions that you made. Things that you did, and you got the nerve to be mad at God, and you got the nerve to blame God for everything. Well, today is the day to realize that it's not God's fault. Right now is the day to realize it's not God's fault. We do foolish things. And instead of you going before God and just asking for forgiveness before God and saying, God, I know I shouldn't have did it. How often do you do that? How often do you just honestly go before God and be real with God and say, God, I know I shouldn't have did that. I made that bad decision. But a lot of times, God can overlook things and help us with the bad decisions that we made. See, just because we make bad decisions, the good thing about God is this: God doesn't leave us. He doesn't leave us. And I know I'm a witness to that. I done made a lot of horrible decisions in my life, foolish decisions. But God stayed there right with me to help me through them. He just didn't leave me. And that's the good thing about God. We can make decisions that we don't even go to God. We don't even seek God about. But the good thing about God is he doesn't leave us, even though we're lying on God and we're blaming God. You got lawsuit money back. You got money back and you blew the money. I want you to think about that now. You got people right now today, they done got back a lump sum of money, whether it's from a lawsuit, whether it's from somebody leaving this earth and leaving their money. They blew through the money and they got the nerve to be mad at God because the money is gone. I want you to think about that now. You got some woman mad at God because a man used her. You chose to give that man your body. You chose to give that man the keys to the car. You chose to give that man your money, but you mad at God. Come on now. We got to stop doing this stuff. The blame game is over. It's time to stop playing the blame game. Blame yourself if you want to blame somebody, and stop blaming God and stop blaming everybody else. Because if you come across some people, it's everybody else's fault for situations in their life. They don't just blame God, but it's your mama fault. It's your daddy fault. It's the school fault. You know, it's the white man fault. It's everybody else's fault. Why you ain't got it in life. It's everybody else's fault. I would have this, but I would have this. I could have had this. I could have been further in life. It's everybody else's fault. But what's your fault? Won't you tell me that today? What's your fault? Have you just ever got in front of the mirror? Have you just ever looked at yourself and said, what's my fault? Just sometimes you got to get in front of that mirror like I had to do, and I had to point the fingers at myself and say, you know what? It's my fault. I chose those men. I chose to do those things. Sometimes you just got to be real with yourself and say it was me. It wasn't God. God didn't tell me to do that. I did it myself. And somebody today, you just need to get in front of that mirror and say, it wasn't your fault, God. It was me. And now you need to go pray to God and ask God to help you make better decisions up in your life. It's time to start seeking God so you can have a true relationship with God and you can start making decisions that's pleasing to God. See, we do this stuff all the time. Marrying the wrong people, dealing with the wrong people, sleeping with the wrong people, doing everything with the wrong people, making bad business deals with the wrong people. And then we get mad when they go haywire, and then we blame God. You have no reason to blame God. You have no reason. And you have no reason to blame anybody else but yourself. Because some of us, we keep knocking our head, boom, 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 against the wall. We keep doing it. We keep knocking our head, doing the same thing over and over and over again. We keep doing it. God don't do it. We keep doing it. When are you ready to learn your lesson? So I ask you today, are you playing the blame game? And right now, are you done playing the blame game? And it's time to stop pointing fingers at everybody else and start pointing the fingers at yourself. It's time for you to start doing better by yourself. Won't you look in that mirror? What's going on in your life? What decisions are you making? See, you got somebody right now behind jailhouse bars, behind prison bars, and they mad at God. They mad at God like God told you to jump on that woman. Like God told you to go out there and fight. Like God told you to act a fool on your job. Like God told you to go and harass that woman. God don't tell you no foolishness like that. But you out there mad blaming God. God didn't tell you to sell those kilo of drugs. God didn't tell you that. But you mad at God. You got a house full of kids that you done had by this no good man. But you mad at God. When is the last time you just got mad at yourself and said, I want to do better? How about that? Instead of blaming God and getting mad at God and everybody else, get mad at yourself and get mad enough to say, I want to do better. Right now, I'm ready to do better. Right now. So it's time for us to stop playing the blame game. It's time for us to stop. So go to God and start having a true relationship with God so you can just start seeking God. And so you can start totally living for God and you can make decisions that's pleasing to God. So always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination. And Jesus Christ is Lord and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.